Jezebel, was a foreign princess who married Ahab, the king of Israel. Their marriage was a political alliance, but it also brought major religious conflict into the nation. Jezebel promoted the worship of Baal, while many in Israel remained devoted to the worship of the Lord. This created deep division. But the most powerful story about Jezebel centers on a vineyard. Near the royal palace was a vineyard owned by a man named Naboth. This land had been in his family for generations. Ahab wanted it. He offered Naboth money, or even a better vineyard, but Naboth refused. He said he could not give up the inheritance of his ancestors. Ahab went home angry and depressed. He lay on his bed, turned his face to the wall, and refused to eat. When Jezebel saw this, she asked what was wrong. Ahab told her about Naboth's refusal. Instead of accepting the answer, Jezebel took control. She wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with the king's seal. In the letters, she instructed the city leaders to hold a public gathering. They were to place Naboth in a prominent position, then bring forward 2 false witnesses to accuse him of cursing God and the king. The plan worked. Naboth was falsely accused and executed. After his death, Jezebel told Ahab to go and take possession of the vineyard. But the story does not end there. God sent the prophet Elijah to confront Ahab. Elijah declared judgment. He said that because of this injustice, disaster would come upon Ahab's family, and he gave a specific prophecy about Jezebel, that dogs would devour her by the wall of Jezreel. Years passed. Eventually, a military commander named Jehu was anointed king and tasked with bringing judgment on Ahab's dynasty. When Jehu rode into the city of Jezreel, Jezebel prepared herself and looked down from an upper window. She called out to him with defiance. Jehu shouted, asking who was on his side. Some palace officials responded. At his command, they threw her down from the window. She died there in the courtyard. Later, when they went to bury her, very little remained of her body. The earlier prophecy had been fulfilled. The story of Jezebel is ultimately about power, injustice, and consequences. It raises difficult questions about leadership, responsibility, and silence. Ahab wanted something that was not his. Jezebel used authority to manipulate the system. The elders obeyed. Only Elijah spoke up. For a time, it looked like injustice had won. But in the end, actions carried consequences. And that is why this story has been remembered for thousands of years.